Hi, today I'm going to be talking about the problem with self-proclaimed strong and independent women, and I'm going to be giving a bit of an analysis and explaining why men aren't attracted to them. I think in romantic relationships, there's going to be a certain amount of vulnerability from both parties simply due to how intimate romantic relationships are and the closeness involved in a romantic relationship. And the thing with women who call themselves strong and independent is they want to go into a relationship with a very closed off, cold, hostile attitude, and they are unable to comprehend the fact that in a relationship there is going to be a certain amount of vulnerability from both parties. And for obvious reasons, the unfriendly, hostile attitude of these women is something that men find very unattractive and is something that will make it so men do not want to be with them for a long-term relationship. The reason that these broads develop this attitude is due to being repeatedly pumped and dumped by chads, and because of these experiences, they now have a lot of issues. So now when going into a relationship, these broads don't want to express any kind of vulnerability due to expressing vulnerability in the past repeatedly, the chads who didn't actually care about them and only ended up pumping and dumping these broads. I don't think that these women should be getting into a relationship or looking for a relationship. I think that instead they should be focusing on fixing their issues, because you can't go into a relationship with that kind of cold, hostile attitude. By doing that, you would be taking out your personal issues on somebody who didn't do anything to you. I also think that in a healthy relationship, you should be able to depend on your partner when you really need it. And when I say that, I don't mean codependency. Obviously, both people in a relationship need to have their own lives outside of the relationship. They need to have friends, they need to have hobbies, they need to have interests. You can't spend every waking hour of the day with somebody. What I mean when I say that you should be able to depend on your partner when you really need it is, when you are going through something, you should be able to lean on your partner for support. And you should also be willing to offer that same support to your partner. And I think in a healthy relationship, both parties should be doing kind gestures for each other on a regular basis, and I think that it's extremely important in a healthy relationship. And by doing kind gestures for each other, you're not implying that you think that the other person is incapable of doing the task. You are doing it because you care about the other person. And I think in general, modern women just don't understand how a relationship works, and I'll explain what I mean by that. Modern women, they want a man to provide and to protect, but modern women, they don't want to cook, they don't want to clean, they don't want to do any of that. Modern women feel entitled to a man's resources and his protection and don't see anything wrong with demanding these things from him. They view these things as less than bare minimum and are ungrateful for the kind things that men do for them. And they feel like they don't even need to add any value to a man's life to deserve such kindness. I think with the closed-off, guarded attitude of self-proclaimed strong and independent women, these women will only attract the same men that they are claiming that they do not want to attract. Here's what I mean by that. The attitude of these women is something that is very bad for a long-term relationship, and the only men that they are going to attract when having this attitude are chads who want to pump and dump them. The unfriendly attitude of these women is a huge turnoff for men and is not something that men want to deal with in a long-term relationship. Men like women who are sweet and friendly. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please press the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed this content and like hearing me analyze female nature. See you guys again next time.